Hi guys, it's Alice Monique with Vintage Galley Teen. I want to start creating videos where I make items with the thrift store finds. Like last week I had the photo sleeve, how to repurpose photo sleeves, and that came out pretty cool, so I kind of want to continue using all my thrift store finds and creating something with them. Like a couple of weeks back I purchased some buttons. I think it was like 5-6 baggies. And I've created button rings before. I have a tutorial in my YouTube channel about that, but I wanted something a bit more on the difficult side, something with wiring, and so I want to create a necklace, a button necklace. So I want a bit more on the difficult side as far as the project goes. So this is what we're going to be creating. I'm going to show you the process of making your own button necklace, and all I did was I put it on a leather cord and just use some wire and some seed beads. So let me tell you, I'll leave all the details on the info box as far as where to get, what kind of supplies you'll need, like the wire, the seed beads, the buttons. Pretty much that's the basic that you do need. Other stuff you'll be seeing as I go through, and I'll list them in the info box. So let's start. I got the first time I did this necklace back here, I used 45 inches of wire, and it's this bundled wire, and I've had this bundle of wire for a long while now. But I was getting tangled and little knots. It's just like sewing pretty much. You know, when you get too much thread, you start tangling yourself up. You don't want to, I guess, cut off too much. So with this one that I'm going to show you right now, I cut off 29 inches. Yes, 29 inches. And all you're going to do is get one end, and you make a loop. And let me just get my... You want to flatten that out because sometimes it does crinkle up, and it doesn't have to be a big loop, it could be a small one, but you do want a good amount of wire so you can twirl that around right here. You're gonna bend it and just do that, go round and round. Ow, ow, ow. And be careful because you can poke yourself. Okay, let me just do this. I don't want the video to go so long, so let me pause it while I do this. Okay, so when you finish, let me see, can you see that? When you finish twirling that wire around, going in circles, coiling it, I guess, just get one of your flat nose tools and just kind of squash that wire down, because sometimes it could leave a little bit of wire sticking out, which is gonna poke at you, and you don't want that. So just go in circles and make sure it goes round and round, and just turn it and turn it. I think that's pretty good. So in this one I did a smaller loop. On my other necklace I did a longer loop, which is okay, but I kind of want it to look like this. I like that clean little round loop look. Okay, so from here I am going to get a button. So this is one end. Now you're going to go to the other end, the one that's opened up, and you're going to start feeding the buttons through. And so I'm going to feed that one through. And you know what? This one's too big. See that one? I'm going to need a bead at the end of that. So give me 1 second while I look for a bead. Okay, so I already have the beads here. I was looking at these and they kind of match. So this is pretty much just some broken up necklaces that I've kept around, and I'm going to use them now. So all you're gonna do is, you know, if you find some necklaces like that, they're really cool to have. when you're doing beadwork, because you can get some of these beads and use them for your project. All I'm going to do is open this up. You open the loop up, take that out, and then right here, because it's so loopy, it's going to be hard to take out. All you do is get some of these cutters right here, I'm not sure what they're called, and just snip it right there. And if you don't have one of these, you can also use I think like a nail clipper works too. I have one here just in case, because sometimes these are a bit more precise. Let me show you if it does or doesn't. So you can get like a nail clipper and just clip it. Oh, yep, it worked good. So there's still a little bit left in there. Okay, let's see, you just take that out. So I got 2 of those, because you're going to need one for one side. And for my necklaces, I like for them to look a little flowy, so what I do to one side, I like to do to the other side. So let me get the wire, and I'm going to feed that bead through. Okay, good. So there goes the bead right there. And all I'm going to do is come through the opposite. So I went through here. I'm going to come through this opposite side like that. And feed it again just to knot it up. Okay. Then if it's easier for you, just so you don't poke yourself, just feed it through. Pull it through with the nose pliers. And just tighten it up. Okay, so that's good. That should hold that button in place. Okay, so then now I'm going to feed the button through. Okay, so it did hold it. Good. That's what I want. But I wanted it to show up because that button is so pretty, but I guess this loop is too big. I think I'm going to have a hard time with this button, and I really like it. I might have to do away with it. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's going to work out. Okay, so all I did was go through the opposite side, just like I did with the bead, and pull that through. It's just like sewing a bit. And all you're doing is kind of knotting it right there. So I'm going to go one more time, just in case. Okay, so now I'm going to get a seed bead. Let me get that. Okay, so I got these seed beads also at a thrift store find, and they have the little hole is a little bit larger than just your regular seed bead, so that's pretty cool. That's what you want to look for, because you're going to be threading that through about 2 times. So I'm not going to use this color, I'm just showing you because I don't think the black shows up real good on the camera, but I'm going to use black because I don't have brown. I would have preferred brown, but so I'm going to thread one of these seed beads in. And like I tell you, the reason I'm using this is because I found that having a seed bead right there in that area in between this button and goes to the next button is because I feel it gives it a bit more sturdiness, and it keeps it in place. It keeps that other button in place, because I want the buttons to show up, or else they're going to be overlapping a bit too much, and I don't want that overlap. And see, I picked small little beads like that because they're not going to show up in the front. See that? It's not going to show up, so that's cool. Let's go with my next button. I'm going to feed that through, and I thought this one was so cool. This is just a wood button, and that is really nice. And some of these buttons look real vintagey, and some of them look really, really new. So that's pretty cool because I'm using vintage with new. Okay, so then after putting that through, you're going to go through the opposite side of it. If I can get this through. If this starts getting a bit rough, the end of that wire, you can just snip it so it could be easier. That's what I'm gonna have to do. Just snip it a bit so you can get your nail cutter. Make sure the buttons are facing. Okay, there. Oh, wrong way. This way. And then just make sure you place your button back in its area. And then you, oops, I wasn't even free. Then you tighten that up. And go one more time. Go through. Okay, I'm not even gonna have a chance to go, oh yes, it did go through. Okay, so you go through again. Pull it through. There we go. Okay, let me get another button. Okay, so I'm going to get another seed bead and just run it through, and again I'm going to knot it. Let me get my other button. And so you put it through one hole, and then you're going to go through the other hole. Make sure you hold that button in place. You okay? Okay, just checking on my son. He was in here with me, my older son. So I fed through both buttons. So you're going to go again. You're going to, I guess, stay on the back and feed it through. So you're going to tighten it up. And then make sure that does all the way through, because I'm already getting little knots as it is. And then, so you're going to do that 3 times. Okay, let me pause it so I could do that, so it won't be such a long video. Okay, so all I did was I went ahead and strung another seed bead back there, and I've already showed you how to do the 2 button style. Just go 3 times in, out, and now I'm going to show you the 4 buttonhole style, and that's pretty much the same thing, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross it. I'm going to go from this hole, I came through the bottom, then I'm going down from on top, pulling that, and then right here. I will go to the next one that's near this one right here. I'm going to go from the back upward. So let me pull that. And then I'm going to go to the other side. And then I'm going to do that again for the second time. I'm going to go from the bottom of where I first started, come up, and you want to look in the back and make sure everything's staying really tight back there as far as the wire goes. And then go to the opposites. Did I go through the wrong one? I might have gone through the wrong. Okay, let me just take that back. Let's see. Oh no, I did it right. Okay, sorry. Okay, so let me just do that one more time here. Okay, so I've finished that one. I went 3 times on this one right here, on the 4-hole button one, and then I've already added another seed bead, and I've threaded another squared off button. So this squared off button has 2 holes in it, so you're going to do it just the same as you did the round one. So let me pause it and do that. I'm going to go through 3 times on that one. Okay, I just want to show you how I'm stringing this, and then I get a little stuck. It's kind of hard to pull through. So like I said, go ahead and use your nose pliers and pull it through, and it just tightens it up a little bit more. So I'm going for my 3rd threading on this one right here, and again there. Okay, see, so it starts, it's already forming something right there, and you can move this as you like. So you can do something like that, or you can just make it one way. You can move it as you like, and it'll start tightening it up once you want it to. Like, I'm not sure how I want this yet. I haven't added this last. When I get to this button, I'm going to see exactly where I want it. So let me just pause it real quick. Okay, so I more or less want this necklace to go like so. So what I'm going to do is come back right where I'm at right here. I'm going to go back to one of the, let's see, go back to the seed bead before, and just, you're going to go through there, and then you're going to tighten it right there. So that tightens that like that. See how that is a bit more stiffer right there, because I went back to that seed bead, and that seed bead is holding that together right there. So that's, I think that's key right there, is to hold your shape, is to have that seed bead back there, because that's going to be your, I guess, your security right there. So see how that's staying just like that? And so you just need to go from where you ended, you go back to that last seed bead, and you go through it, and it stays right there. Okay, let me just, I'm going to place another seed bead through, and my next button. Okay, so when I threaded my first seed bead, I then placed my next bead through, but it's kind of big and it's overlapping this small button. So what I'm gonna do is, I already wrapped one seed bead through, so I'm gonna go through with another seed bead and wrap that one as well, and I'm gonna get it as close as I can to that seed bead. So see, all buttons are going to be very different, so it's going to be, it's a very, I guess, it's going to be different for everybody as far as when you start making your button necklace. They're not all going to be the same. Each one's going to be very unique in its own way. And see, so I've already spaced that. just so it won't be overlapping this button, because I really like that button. And okay, so I'm just attaching this video to my other video because for some reason, I don't know if my battery died or what, but my camera's working again. So let me just show you what I finished off. I went back and I finally put this button together with my seed bead. This is the last button I left off, and I went back all through the first seed bead that's right here, right next to it, and I went through with the wire, and then I came back out and fed another seed bead through. And then I've already done another button there. I've only looped it once, so all you're gonna do is go to the opposite side, then go to the hole next to it. Let me show you from right here. You're gonna go to this hole from the bottom next to it, and you're gonna bring it up. You can make sure that's tight and secure. Then you're gonna go to the opposite hole right there, which is that side right there. And so you're gonna loop that for 3 times. So let me do that. Okay, so I strung my next seed beads, and then I did my next button, and this button is starting to angle downward, so I like that. So I put the holes, instead of the holes going from left to right, I'm putting them top to bottom. That way it starts, the necklace starts going downward like that. And then, so I've strung that 2 times right there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the next seed bead right here, and I'm going to thread that through. It wants to go in there. And then I'm just going to get my pliers and feed that through, and just pull on it a little bit, and that starts, you can just start moving that downward if that's where you want that to go. So it's already forming a shape right there. Okay, let me continue adding more seed beads and more buttons. Okay, so this is already getting its shape right there. I don't know if you can see how it's going down kind of like a V. That's where I'm going for that to go. Let me show you the back. See, it's going downward like that. And that's where I want it to go. And then from there, what I'm going to do with the string right there, I'm lifting the string upward. That way now it's going to come back up to the other side of the V. So that's all that is. You, instead of having the string going to the side like that, you're gonna put a seed bead there, and then you're gonna lift that up so it could start going the way you want it to go. So let me do that. Okay, so as I was pulling on my wire, it just tore on me. So yeah, that's more work for me. So I'm going to try to knot that together, or even get a longer one, because look, I'm only left with a little bit. So I'm gonna get a longer wire and try to knot that together and put like a seed bead there so it can stay. But yeah, that happens as we're working, and halfway through something is bound to go wrong. So yeah, okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going through with my other wire through that last seed bead, and what I'm going to do is, I went through already, I'm going to loop it there to create a knot, a secure knot right there. So I will put that through, and then I'm going to put it through again, but of course I'm going to go through the opposite side. Oh, it's actually the same side, but I'm not going, I'm just, let's see, I went through this way and then back around to the same side, I guess. That's what I mean. So I'm doing that, and then right there, if you notice, you see that circle right there, and so you're gonna go with that wire that you're putting through, you're gonna go underneath it so you can create a knot. Let's see. Okay, let me continue playing with this, hold on. Okay, so all I did was I went through the seed bead, then I went around, and then I tied a loop, and then I pulled on both ends, and it looped the seed bead right there. See that silver wire? Okay, so all you're gonna do is with those ends, you don't want to leave them like that, you're going to just clip them off. So clip that off and clip this other end off. You don't need that anymore, unless, no, well, I was thinking maybe I should go through one more seed bead just for secureness. I keep saying security, sounds so silly. Secure. Okay, so I'm gonna pull it through the next seed bead, and I'm gonna see if I can go around. Using these pliers usually helps. So, well, it feels like I can't, but okay, at least I got through another seed bead, and I'll just cut it right there. I'll snip it right there. So I feel it's a bit more secure right there at that end. Okay, so let me continue adding the buttons on this. Okay, so I want this right here to create that V, like it's going down then coming back up, but the only way that's going to stay close like that is if I think I'm going to have to attach it right over here on the opposite side. So I'm going to try doing that. Let me see. I'm going to go to the seed bead that's across right there. That seed bead, it's right across, which is the button that's going to be close to it. And I'm going to go through the top. Just, ow. Okay. Okay, great. Go through and then get your pliers and pull that through. Make sure you don't get caught with any other buttons there. Pull it through. Before you pull it completely tight, you want to go to the other side and check it and see if that's where you want that to be. Yep. See that? It's already forming a little right there. Okay. So after that, I will go, let me come back through another seed bead this way. I guess the seed bead that's right next to it, go ahead and go through it. And right here, we will go back, I guess, to the next seed bead, skip one, and then go through that one, which is a seed bead that's closer to the button that we're working with. And then all you're going to do is go through the button one more time for secureness. I said that right this time. Okay, let me do that. Okay, so I've already strung some other buttons, I've been doing this a little bit on the side as I push pause because I see that this video is going to be extremely long. I might have to do a two-part, I'm not sure. But I've done the same thing like I've been doing, is just adding seed beads in the back and going through them, knotting them through, and just adding the button and then going through the seed bead again, just to secure its shape and its angle where I want it to be. So you can see right there how it's angling upward. And so far that's what I have. Okay, so I added another button, and so I like where it's at. So I'm just going to show you again the steps that I take for leaving the shape at where it's at. So after I guess thread it through 2 times on this one, I'm going to go to that last seed bead that's close to that button and feed it through. And all I do is I pull it through, and using these nose pliers gets it to its tightest. So if you want it to be very secure and the wire very, I guess, taut, I think that's the word, just use the nose pliers instead of just running it through with your hands. It just gets it really tight right there. And so that's how that's going. Okay, so I've added this other one right here, and I kind of want this one to go a little bit higher than these two. So right there, what I'm going to do is I've already thread that several times to knot it up, but I'm going to go to the seed bead that's right next to it in the bottom, and or actually I could go to this one. If I go to this one, let me see, if I go to this one, I think the wire might show. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to the seed bead right next to it, so let me do that. Okay, so my wire ended again, so I'm just gonna twirl it around this other bead over here, and I'm gonna string the next bead through the last button to continue. I think I only have like 2 more buttons left, so I'm just gonna twine that up, create a knot. I'll be right back. Okay, so I finished already my last button, and so I'm right here, and now I just need to add my bead at the end. So that's what I'm going to do. And so I'm going to get my bead, just bead it through. And then to secure it, I'm just going to thread it from the bottom. Okay, I need to cut that up because it's already bending a bit. Go through the bottom. Secure that. And I am going to loop it around. So I'm going to try to make a small loop like I did over here. See if I can achieve that. It's a little bit difficult. So you just do the loop, and then you're going to wind it around. The remainder of the wire. I'm going to continue doing that. Okay, this is where I want this to be at, and so I have that broken up necklace that I'm going to use as part of the necklace because I really like the colors on this. And all you do is you open this up. Let me get the other side. I think it's this side. You open up the rings right here. this is where this one ends. Open that up and take that out. Depending on how long you want your necklace, then connect it with the other one. And go from there. Okay, let me get that together. Okay, so all I did was open up the loop. So I'm going to loop it right here. And then close that up. Then I'm going to get the other side of the necklace. And I think I'm going to want it a little bit short. So let me just measure that and see where that's at. Okay, so I opened this other loop right here, and I'm going to close it up there. Okay, it's not quite finished yet because I need an area where I'm going to put the toggle, or in this case I'm going to use this little twirly deal. Okay, so I see that my battery is finishing. Hold on. Okay, if this gets cut off, thank you. I'm sorry for making this video so long. I just really wanted to show a process of doing a necklace. I haven't done my jewelry in a while. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up and I'm going to insert this, it's one of these twirly deals. I'm not sure what they're called, but it's like a kind of like a clasp slash toggle type. So I'm just going to do that. So thank you so much, and if this battery runs out or the video stops, thank you so much for joining me, and happy creating. Yeah, I finished it. Okay, I thought maybe. Okay, so let me put this against like that. Let me take this to the side. That way you can see it. I think it came out pretty cool. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.